recording. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. I am apparently Jeff Bezos. So this is my current net worth. 156 billion. It's ridiculous. So I guess I just have to spend all this money? I don't know, I'll figure it out. But anyways, it says, when you wake up this morning from unsettling dreams, you find yourself chained in your bed into a monstrous vermin. Okay. I guess whoever made this game does not like Jeff Bezos. So, you are Jeff Bezos. Jeff Bezos' employees are now your employees. His money is now your money. Nothing you say or do will convince anyone you are not Jeff Bezos, even his closest friends and family. What will you do? Go to the bathroom, scream and sob with terror over this unnatural event? I spent all this fucking money. Let's go. Let's do this. Jeff Bezos' current wealth is displayed on the left. Below are some things you might consider spending it on. Pay off student loan debt, 1.5 trillion, holy shit. Repair Puerto Rico, 139 billion. Pay for the border wall and then not build it. Pay taxes. Hire 100,000 new teachers for 4 years each. End homelessness in the United States. So the cheapest thing I have here is just straight up end homelessness. You eliminate homelessness in the United States. Every person living in the U.S. now has the guarantee of a roof over their head. Okay. Yeah, this would never happen in real life. Too ready for that. This costs you $20 billion over trivial 12.8% of your starting net worth. You still have $136 billion. I'll soon change that. You get a phone call on your personal line from your main financial advisor. Apparently distressed, you ignore it. So what do I do here? Alright. Payment? No, I don't want payment spells. What else can I do? Good job decimating a rich man's wealth so far. By the way, you have gone from 156 billion, holy shit, to a mere 136 billion. And if only you could manufacture guillotines. Hello? So fund NASA, double every Amazon employee's salary, hell no. Support 10,000 artists and residents for 4 years each. Abolish the Electoral College, pay back taxes to EU. Yeah, I don't want to do any of these. I'll abolish the Electoral College. Strictly speaking, the only thing necessary to abolish the United States Electoral College is the vote of ratification of 3/4 of the Union, or 38 states, and politicians are very cheap to purchase. An average Senate seat costs $10 million. You can win over sitting senators for less than that. The House is a trickier proposition thanks to sheer numbers. But all you really need is to make the whole thing work is to convince Republicans that abolishing a slavery-era system and transitioning to a popular vote for major elections would totally own the libs. Sorry, not sorry, Hamilton. Fox News goes unexpectedly off air, citing existential difficulties. Time named you Person of the Year. You decline that fair weather bullshit. So what can I do now? I don't know. I mean, it's the cheapest thing here, so I guess I will. You pay Amazon's back taxes to the European Union. It triggered $293 million, or 263,677,000 pounds, or euros. That's to host Eurovision 8 times. Can't beat Lordy. Okay, what's next? The squatter in the White House goes on an unhinged rant. Bernie was a communist Democrat fascist with small generals who's ruining the economy. He calls for your execution. Holy shit. Alright, bitch, I'll buy Twitter. You buy Twitter for $50 billion. Way more than it's actually worth, but you'd rather get the acquisition over with quickly. After you ban the circus peanut in the White House, you also get rid of Jack and all the Nazis. Holy shit. Good riddance. Bill and Melinda Gates sent a kind yet concerned greeting card, asking if perhaps you would like a little advice on how to spend money on poor, but in a moderate way. You burn it. Do you hear something? A loud crack fills the room, as finally your frantic family members and several bodyguards manage to break down the doors to your bedroom. A few of your burlier relatives pin you down and take away your laptop. Please, Uncle Bezos brings a doe-eyed child who is probably not your nibbling. Nibbling? Is that really what they're called? Crumbly, crumbly jibbly tears falling down their cheeks as you retire to the chair. You've left us with a mere $85,327,000,000. But this just will be ever so tested, destitute if you do seize your wretched spending. Do Jeff Bezos and others speak like Dickens characters? They do here. What do you say to the child? Send them on Twitter. They'll end up just a socialist and that's effort on your end. You'd love to show the child Twitter on your own, but tied up as you are, you're left with pointing towards the nearest unattended phone with your big toe. You give your young relative a list of accounts to follow. Within 30 minutes, they are an expert in both the Communist Manifesto and pro wrestling. My work here is done back to spending Jeff Bezos' money. You flex your shiny biceps as hard as you can, they're binding you to the chair, literally busting into so many shreds of heaven. You stand using a leg of the chair to beat back several bodyguards and destroy adult heirs. When you see a path open, you take it, fleeing into the city streets, armed only with your bathrobe, a phone, and a small laptop. After escaping to the subway, you spare quick glance at your bank balance, finding still too large for your taste. Fund 10 animal rescues for 4 years, build 10 new public libraries, finance 100 indie games, reboot Mythbusters, pay off 1,000 graduate student loans, or fix the Flint water crisis. You know what, Flint? Y'all are the cheapest and y'all kinda need this. You completely renovate the deteriorated water system of Flint, Michigan, bringing its residents from corporate serfdom to Nestle. This set you back all of $55 million, or less than a single cost of a single SpaceX rocket. Literally, this should have happened years ago already. I'm saying. You hole up in a dimly lit cafe, where no one will question why Jeff Bezos is here in his bathrobe working on a laptop. To ensure their silence, you pay the college educations of the three baristas on duty for under $3K. You also tip well, because labor should be adequately compensated regardless of whether a service worker goes the extra miles for you. $200. Alright. Alright, student loans. The average graduate student has $57,600 in loan debt. Your friends are anything but average, of course, but you also probably don't have 1,000 of them. So $57.6 million should cover you either way. Plus 100 $320. You spend any leftovers organizing a game studies conference, including covering transportation and hotel expenses for all speakers. Todd Harper does the opening keynote, and Maddie Bryce oversees the wine tasting session. No speakers over the age of 45. A barista with a lip ring and Imperator Furiosa tattoo brings you a second coffee. They tell you that what you're doing now doesn't make up for the years you, Jeff Bezos, has spent exploiting your workers and destroying rival businesses. You really wholeheartedly, it's not like they'll believe you to explain you're just a rando stuck with Jeff Bezos' gross plastinated body. You know what I'm gonna do next? Indie country. Let's be real, there are two kinds of independent games. One made by former AAA devs that opt to run into the millions and usually require outside investment, and stuff like this built entwined. So postulating that you could fund 100 indie games for $1 million each is some wild ass math. Let's say you fund 10 of those bigger games by industry veterans, use the rest to support 200 small indies. Or maybe you don't fund any Kickstarter games and instead donate every last cent to your favorite avant-garde Blitzker. Whatever you want, babe, it's your money. Take that, indie apocalypse. Sirens outside. You've learned from the TV that there is a warrant out for your arrest for suspicion of fraud, which under the circumstances seems hilarious. Your barista allies shutter the blinds to the already darkened coffee shop. He decides to put out the news and put on anime instead. You know, big one. You know what? Fuck the books. That's clean animals. For $5 million each, there aren't These aren't your run-of-the-mill animal shelters. They are full-featured rescues focused on providing for abuse from circus animals and exotic pets. These videos testing whether tigers will sit in boxes or get have catnip? That's the kind of rescue you're funding. Let the good times roll. One of the briefs are giving you away. It was an accident. They left location data on while tweeting on the hashtag Bezos is Bay hashtag. Before you know it, you have the entire local police force at your cafe's front door. You scan your list for something quick to find Spencer Jeff Bezos' money on, while the briefs arrange for your escape through the back. There's no time. You and your barista accomplices race through the city's back streets, candidly avoiding police blockades and Amazon locker locations. Twice you are nearly cut down by weaponized delivery drones, but you manage to dive out of their firing range just in time. The drones record you as KIA, or Killed in Action, in their online tracking system anyway. This buying you a precious few minutes. Huddled behind the dumpster, you find a barista with a lip ring has sustained a deep cut on her arm. Use your clean pills to dress the wound. You literally throw money at the problem and tape together 10 Printer Fresh $100 bills end to end, using them as a makeshift bandage around the barista's wound. They grimace. It's not a good way to dress a cut. It is probably better than nothing, and they appreciate the fact that you're trying at least. Make a break for the sewers. It's no use. Sewers actually aren't all that spacious, and also, manhole covers are really heavy. The police catch up to you while you're wearing and nursing your stubbed toe. Maybe you should run out of your luxury apartment wearing something sturdier than slippers. You and your 3 barista allies are on the spot. I actually forgot I'm wearing a bathrobe. You and your college-age accomplices are each charged with resisting arrest, the most fascist bullshit charge. Additionally, you are charged with one called destabilizing capitalism, while the 3 baristas are charged with pirating anime. Listen, alright, we're all pirating. Bribe the cops and let the baristas go. Pay bail for baristas and everyone else in the city's jail system. You pay the cash bail for your 3 coffee-making accomplices, as well as for the entire jail population of the city. About 12,000 people. The police, catching wise, pay your own bail and absolutely unheard exactly how much I have. There's no way anyone would pay that. Demand to see your lawyer. Because you are white and wealthy, the law works differently for you. You're granted a phone call to your lawyer. Unfortunately, you don't know the number to Jeff Bezos' lawyer, or even who they are. You realize that if you're going to do anything with this phone call, it should be something to try and get rid of as much of your money as possible. What do you spend Jeff Bezos' money on? Let's see. Pay for your... I can keep it, I'll represent myself. You know what? I'll rebuild Puerto Rico. You don't know everything you have left to rebuild in Puerto Rico. The sum is significant and goes some way toward the island's recovery. It won't fix everything, but it helps. You can be sure that the funds won't go to waste. After finishing your phone call, you return quietly to your cell. If hashtag Bezos is Bay is still trending on Twitter, you're sure someone is raising money for your legal fees right now, but you absolutely refuse to use it. There's nothing more you can do for now. Wait. You wait. There's little else to do. You sit and contemplate your intently brief existence as Jeff Bezos. The unimaginable wealth you struggle to spend. The problems that lay outside eating your ability to think. Was it really worth spending it all? To rid the world of one man's billions? Was this really the best you could do? With this thought in your head, you lay down on your hard jail bunk and slowly you drift off to sleep. When you wake up this morning from unsettling dreams, you find yourself changed into your bed into a monstrous room. You are Elon Musk. The end. Well, that was, something.